Alright, so normally I don't talk on this channel, but I'm trying something new, and so I wanted to also try something new and make a video on what I'm trying and talk about it, I guess mostly for myself. This channel is kind of like I just post clips to like save storage on my phone and like have a database of like all the tricks I've gotten, learned, whatever. And that's kind of what this channel's been over the years, so I haven't really posted anything where I've like talked to the camera, so this is, you know, different, but I kind of got excited to like vlog what I'm gonna try. So essentially what I've done is I have this notebook, and I'm getting older, so my sessions are getting shorter. You know, I'm married now, and you know, with work, doing electrical, you know, sometimes I only get to go session like once a week, and it might be a 2-hour sesh. Sometimes I get to sesh 3 days a week. It's all different, but lately, you know, it's been 1 session a week. I've gotten lucky this week and I've had 3 sessions, but they've only been an hour. So today we've got 2 hours, and I've made a game plan on how to maximize my time while skateboarding and like get some real progression in. So even if I can't skate all the time, when I do skate, I make the most of it. So I'm gonna run through this list and kind of talk about like what I've done and my game plan for today. And we have, again, 2 hours to skate. So I'm gonna bring a camera along and film it to see like how this works and break it down. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run through the list now, because once we get to the park, I am not gonna be talking to the camera. So this is what I've created here, and it's my skate trick list. Essentially, this is every trick I either have and / want to learn. Obviously, we don't have a lot of check marks. Check marks are the tricks that we have that are like in the bag, got them. I don't have backside 3 checked off here, even though I can do these on a hip, but I don't have them on flat ground, so I don't consider myself having a full out backside 360. Once I have these down gaps and sets and on flat ground consistently, I will check this off, because then that means I have a proper backside 360. Right now, I would say I have a backside like 270, yeah, not a proper fully backside 360. I may have done one on a hip before, but I can't, it's not enough to check that off. Obviously, most of our tricks are focused in transition, and then transition airs. You know, we don't have a lot of flat ground, not a lot of ledge, not a lot of rail, but I do love, you know, flat ground, rail, and ledge, but not as much as most of my focus. I want it to be in transition. Essentially though, this list is to kind of key in my focus on what I want before I'm too old to do all this, so that I'm not just aimlessly wandering around at the skate park doing the same tricks I always do. Instead, I have a mission in mind. So this is how we're breaking it down, is we're gonna get to the park, 2-hour session, setting a timer, because I gotta get back home to the wife. So 2-hour session, 20-minute warm-up. The 20-minute warm-up involves me running through as many of my check marks as I can, starting with flat ground, moving to ledge, then to rail, then transition, and then transition airs, or, you know, vice versa, however I'm feeling that day. Either way, I start in a particular category and I run through that category, do my check mark tricks, and then move on. So I'll show that process once I get to the park. And then from there, I'm going to pick out particular tricks I want to work on today. I think today's biggest focus, though, I can say, is going to be the Melon 360. It's going to be a backside Melon 360. I think that's how you say it, but don't, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, whatever. Today's focus, though, I think is going to be the Melon 360. So there we go. We'll see y'all at the park. All right, I'm not the best at voiceovers, but here we go. Got to the park. They were cleaning up the bump to rail area, as you saw, spraying it off there. I guess something bad happened, so I'm not going to talk about that. But did some stretches here before I got into doing some flat ground. I was not having a good day flat ground wise. I just had some awful looking backside ones. I took a slam there. Yeah, that was funny. I was mainly just rolling around with some good speed, just trying to get warm, but I definitely could just tell I wasn't feeling flat ground. I just was taking forever even to get a decent little half cab and back 90s. A little kickflip there, though, that felt pretty good. I haven't done a kickflip rolling in so long, so I just want to get back into doing things I don't normally do. And then here we're just getting warmed up on some rail. Go over here and install the ramp that's out of the camera, but from here now I'm trying to get back into hitting ledges. I have not touched a ledge like a standard street course ledge in so long. So this is the first front 50 here that I've done in like probably 5 months. Like I haven't done a front 50 in like 5 months. It's kind of sad. I've just been rail and transition. That's really been it. So it felt good to just get back into doing some front 50s on the ledge. And this is the first back 50 that I've done in, no joke, definitely 5 months. Like, it's been forever since I've hit a backside 50. And this was a decently sized ledge, so I was pretty pumped to get back into doing that. But I definitely was not a fan of how my back foot left the board. It showed that I was having a lack of confidence there. But we'll get back into throwing that into warm up, and front side and backside 50s on a ledge will just be in my regular warm up from now on. Here we're hitting the bump to rail a couple times. I spent a lot of time on that rail and ledge, so here I did not go for a front board. I was just hitting some back boards, but I do want to throw front boards in the warm up soon as well on a bump to ledge, because that's just one of my favorite tricks. So we got nice and warm up on the bump to ledge. Then we're moving on to transition, doing a couple backside disasters here. One of my favorites to do, just trying to make those look better recently. And then front 50s as well, another very satisfying feeling trick, but also kind of sketchy. A lot of times I get in the front Smith as well. Don't mean to. And then here we're starting to work on the new stuff. Backside ollies and front side ollies are a big time focus for me right now. I'm really bad at both of them, unfortunately. So I'm still learning the form of this backside ollie here, and just trying to understand the timing. So here I'm practicing just getting it up and floating it, kicking it out, but just seeing what it feels like to get up there a little bit. And yeah, we'll kind of just take it from there. And here we're getting warmed up into some front side ollies. I need to do these every day a little bit more, because I have been starting to progress in these front side ollies. From where I started to where I am now, I'm getting more comfortable getting closer to that coping before I pop. But I do know, and I've practiced the float enough times to know that you really don't even want to get a full tail snap. You really want to get up to that coping and kind of almost bonk off that coping. Here I'm trying some front disasters, and it just was not, we weren't having it. So moved on to the hip, doing some ollies and back ones here, just my standard warm up on the hip. Today we're just as normal. Really the only hip tricks I want are back threes and front threes. I have back threes. I've done multiple on the hip here. I'm sure you can see by the form, like it's height, but lately I've been trying to get them higher and more under control with them, taking them slower and making it a full backside 360. And yeah, I've just kind of been struggling with that lately. So, and then here we're just trying to get the idea of frontside threes. I'm completely new to the frontside three game, but I do want those on a hip. Warming up for some airs. By this time, I didn't realize what time it was. So as soon as I got warmed up for airs, landed a tiny melon, was going for it over the cone, then realized it was time to leave. So yeah, didn't get that one in, was kind of disappointed, but it was okay. Overall, I was happy with what I did spend time with, and this was a very, very productive session. Like, I was very happy leaving with everything that I did today, even though we didn't get to the new trick. But when I was packing up, I just, I was very happy that I was able to go through so much from street to transition before I left, that it was very, for my brain, it was very productive. So I'll kind of talk about it more in a little overview after this. We're going to do a little recap. Yeah! What are you doing? Stop! I'm gonna recap real quick. Leave me alone! How are you turning this TV on? Alright, so it's the next afternoon. We're about to go help some friends move, but I wanted to recap real fast on what happened and how it worked for me. This list definitely helped me focus. That was one of the best productive sessions I've had in a while. And I went in with a focus and a planned mission. Now, I did not work on the backside 3 melons at all, but that's okay, because I ended up, my headspace kind of changed mid-session. I was like, I really want to be able to do these check marks solid again, and there are some check marks on here like back 50s on a ledge that I just have not done in months. It's been months since I've done that, and it's been even longer since I've done a rail to a ledge trick. So it felt really good. Felt so satisfying to finally hit a rail in, and then go and do a ledge trick in a line. It'd been so long since I've done that, so I was having a lot of fun with that. So I spent more time than I should have on that. Also spent more time than I should have on the backside ollies and frontside ollies on the transition on that back ramp. So that's really what ate up my time. But I was satisfied with the time that I did spend on it. I was not unhappy with it. Though we didn't make it to the new trick, I was still, you know, backside ollies and frontside ollies on transition are two on my list that are not checked off. I can do a backside ollie, a very small backside ollie, and I want to get those larger, and I can do decent frontside ollies, but I want them to be up over the coping, like, you know, getting to that float state with my frontside ollies. And so to put some time into those was a good investment for me, I feel like, and I was very satisfied in doing that. But the fact that I was able to touch so many different areas in one session, I mean, that was the most productive session I've had in a long time. So making a tier list like this and narrowing it all down and having focuses really worked well. The note I'm gonna say though for next session, when going to the park, say for a specific trick. So say next session, I will be working on the back melon 3, like I said, or backside melon 360s. So my warm up, I would say, I'll plan it out before I get to the park. So I give myself a 20-minute warm up, and I will plan on what my warm up is going to look like in this list in that 20 minutes, being realistic with myself before I get to the park. And then as soon as that 20 minutes is up, the rest of this session is spent on that trick. So this session was more focused on kind of just the all around, checking myself on this list and see how I'm doing, and that was very good for me. But the next session, my 20-minute warm-up will truly only be a 20-minute warm-up, and it won't be all of my check marks. It will be check marks that are focused in getting me ready to work on the new trick that I'm trying to learn. So like say my warm-up for the back melon 3s would be on my transition air section. Most of my warm-up is going to be spent in here. I might do one check mark from the ledge, one check mark from the rail, and one check mark from the transition on coping, just to touch some of the other bases, maybe hit a little flat ground first. But most of the 20-minute warm-up will be spent in transition airs. Then after that 20-minute timer's up, I will begin to work on that trick for the rest of the session. And it's as simple as that. So this might be too much for some people, but for my brain, this is really fun and helps me to stay focused, and it also feels just like so productive. This video in general has felt very productive for me. So I'm just excited to get out there to look back and be like, hey man, I made like a little practice training program for myself to progress in skateboarding. You know, and if this is something you might try, that'd be really awesome. Maybe this will inspire somebody. If not, I don't know. It's here for your entertainment. So that's it. That's all I got.